from Wingate University and WUTV. This is Wingate Today.
Hello and welcome to a new program we're debuting today on WUTV, a show we're calling Wingate Today. This will be a 30-minute program that highlights the very best of Wingate University. A new episode coming to WUTV each month. First, a segment we're calling Cover Story. He's the only college president in the United States who knows what it's really like to play in the big leagues. In May, Wingate University President Jerry McGee will be inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame, honored for his years as a college football referee, a career that lasted more than 4 decades. We traveled to Raleigh to look into the Sports Hall of Fame and to find out what went into McGee's selection.
This Hall of Fame is a treasure.
It's a hidden gem not many people across the state even know is here. Nestled on the 3rd floor of the North Carolina Museum of History in downtown Raleigh, in between the Capitol and the Legislative Building, is the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. Don Fish is the executive director.
It started in 1962 when several people from the Charlotte Chamber of Commerce and Sports Council drew up the plans. First class 1963.
Even before some of the biggest names in the world, Jordan, Petty, and Palmer had come along, all three with strong roots in the Tar Heel State, North Carolina's had a long history of sports greats. It's here where that history comes alive.
We are in the basketball section of the North Carolina Sports Museum. And we have a lot to show and tell here.
There's Coach K's warm-up jersey, a jacket signed by Roy Williams, a plaque the Hall of Fame awarded to Michael Jordan, and artifacts from the schools on Tobacco Road. But it's much more than basketball. All the sports and the athletes who excelled in them are represented here. Football, baseball, and NASCAR. There's Richard Petty's race car. 284 have been enshrined in the hall. Names we all know: Dean Smith, Jerry Richardson, all with ties to North Carolina. Now, another famous Jerry will have a poster hanging here.
Jerry McGee is an exceptional person. First of all, not many people have officiated at the high level that he has. He's done all the big games.
404 games, in fact, 20 bowl games, 3 national championships. An officiating career that probably will never be matched. 42 years. There's the ring McGee received from one of the BCS championships he officiated. Articles about him in the New York Times. And plays that McGee will never forget, like the time he got clocked by an offensive wide receiver, Pitt-Louisville game, 1994.
The blitz was on, but the official may have taken the hardest hit of the game.
The thing that made Dr. McGee so special is former coaches wrote in, called in, suggested that we be wise enough to enshrine him.
He's the only college president we've been able to find who's doubled as a football official and university president. For 16 of his 20 years at Wingate, he's held down both jobs. He retired from officiating in 2009, and in 2012, he's being enshrined.
This is a magnificent place. Every individual that's ever been inducted has a banner. So you can come here and see those banners and enjoy these artifacts that were presented by the inductees when they were enshrined.
Plans are in the works to take the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame statewide. Organizers are in discussion about a mobile unit that would tour the state. Joining us now in the studio is Jerry McGee, president of Wingate University, soon to be honored in the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's quite an honor, quite a privilege to be inducted in a group like this. All the inductees will leave behind something from their career. What are you donating?
I am giving my officiating uniform from the 2007 Rose Bowl.
How about that?
Yeah, it actually was kind of hard to turn that loose because it was pretty special to me, but I wanted what I left them to be special as well.
What went through your mind when you got that phone call?
I first thought that if this was a joke, it was one of the worst jokes ever because it was such a meaningful phone call. Yeah, I've been to that Hall of Fame banquet a couple of times, and I always feel like I'm in a room filled with my heroes. And I looked around last year and I thought I'd been nominated, I knew, and I thought there's just no way that I belong in this group of people. But I was very flattered, very surprised, but I said yes very quickly so they wouldn't change their minds.
In our piece, we talked about how long you have been president and a college football official. How were you able to juggle that?
I really thought when I accepted the presidency here that was the end of my officiating. I'd been working football for a long time, but I certainly was willing to walk away from that part of my life to have this opportunity. But I'd already signed a contract for the fall of 1992, so the Board of Trustees agreed I should honor that contract. And when it became obvious throughout the country that I was the only university president that was a Division I football official, we got lots of notoriety, lots of TV coverage, lots of newspaper coverage. So the trustees said, well, this is pretty good. Why don't you continue that? And so they allowed me to continue to officiate a full schedule.
So great that they were so understanding.
Yeah, they've been very understanding in a lot of things here. They've let us dream big dreams, and they've never questioned dramatic changes we wanted to make in the institution, tried making it better. And they recognize that everybody needs an outlet. Some people fish, some people hunt, some people play golf. I referee football. But it was a wonderful way to get away from here.
Tell me about that schedule. I mean, you're working an arduous schedule as president of a university, and then you have to hop on a plane and go wherever knows in the country.
Yeah, I'm really not quite sure how we did that, because I was traveling a lot during the week too, trying to raise money for the school and attend necessary conferences. But very often I would be in Houston maybe on Monday and Tuesday, and then fly to Boston on Friday to referee a game, and then the next week maybe I'd be in Minnesota raising money, and that Friday I'd fly to Florida State to officiate a game there on Saturday. But it was a darn tough schedule, but I was in great physical condition, and I would leave here usually between 12 and 2 on Friday, and I'd try to make that up by putting in a couple hours on Sunday afternoon. So.
What was your most memorable moment from all those years?
Well, it was interesting. It was at a football game, but it didn't have anything to do with the game. The first Army-Navy game I did was on December the 7th, 1991. Exactly 50 years from the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And there we were in midfield at the Army-Navy game with the Navy captains and Army captains, and all the midshipmen were there, all the cadets were there. And we had a pause after the coin toss to allow the President of the United States to address the nation from Pearl Harbor. And that was a pretty special moment in my officiating.
It almost gives me chills just thinking about
it. Well, it did me that day, I assure you.
Well, you'll be inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame May 10th at a ceremony in Raleigh.
That's exactly right. It's really a big deal. I'm overwhelmed with there's press conferences, and there's an introduction to the North Carolina Museum of History, and that's where our artifacts will be. And then there's a nice reception, and then the next night there's the big banquet where we're officially installed, and all of the other former Hall of Famers will be there as well. So it'll be a really big moment for my family and me.
Jerry McGee, thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Next up, a segment we're calling Through the Gate. This spring has been a busy season for the Wingate University community. We've welcomed prospective freshmen to campus, prepared to send current students abroad, and wrapped up a season for the performing arts. It's Through the Gate.
Major in a Great Life.
Taking the theme of the university's new ad campaign, Major in a Great Life, Wingate hosted about 400 students over the course of 2 weekends for the annual Top Scholars Day, an event designed to give admitted students an inside look at the Wingate experience. What does Major in a Great Life mean to these students?
Majoring in a great life can mean majoring in whatever you're trying to major in at college. It could be from anything, chemistry to any type of science, math, English, anything. And doing that in a great life would be you're trying to go to the best school that fits you best.
That means achieving goals, I would say. Not giving up through adversity and working through obstacles, showing perseverance and getting to where you want to be and succeed.
Prospects were given campus tours and a chance to chat with current students and professors.
I've heard that it's a good university, that when people major here, they're able to get good, successful careers, and I've heard good stuff about it. That's why I'm interested in it.
How close it felt here. Everybody seemed very close and connected, so I like that very much.
I like the small college atmosphere. I really love the campus. It's very pretty, laid out very well.
Wingate received a record number of applications this year. Total applications have more than doubled since 2008.
I think our programs are attractive. We have excellent teachers who focus on teaching and advising, who take the time to personally invest in the lives and success of our students. And in this day and age, I think that personal touch matters.
Wingate's current student population is about 2,500. There's talk of getting to 3,500 by the end of this decade. To that end, members of the university's Board of Visitors got a first-hand look at the Wingate of the future. In the Plyler Griffin Recital Hall, President McGee and CFO Bill Durham outlined to members the university's master plan. Later, the Board of Visitors toured the campus facilities. The university has spent $32 million in construction in the last 8 years. If you were on campus in April, you saw a familiar sight. Students in tents camping out to be the first to sign up for the university's Winter National Program.
Usually it sparks a lifetime interest in going abroad and learning about other people and other cultures.
The program was started in the 1980s to expose Wingate students to a global society. The trips come at a very little cost to the students and are taken during their junior year. Students spend 1 hour each week of the semester studying the country they will visit.
I just think it's an awesome opportunity that should definitely be taken advantage of.
I'm so open to culture now. Like, that definitely opened my eyes to new people, food.
The community's eyes were open to a wide-ranging list of performers at the Bat Center this year. The university's Performing Arts Center rolled out a full season that featured a diverse array of artists from around the globe and attracted audience members from throughout the East Coast.
Actually, for some of our larger shows, like Joan Baez, we saw people coming from as far away as Pennsylvania and South Carolina and Florida. So it was really great to see that diverse array of people coming to Wingate and coming to our community.
Laura Kratt, Director of Cultural Events, tells us the Bat Center will be rolling out next year's season very soon. Stay tuned. Which brings us up to sports. And joining us now in the studio is the voice of Bulldog Sports, Ryan Brown. Ryan, we're coming down to the end of the school year. It's been another tremendous year for Wingate Athletics.
Jeff, in Wingate's first 20 years in the South Atlantic Conference, no one ever associated the Bulldogs with the Excellence Cup. In the past 6 years, the question has now become, will anyone knock off Wingate?
It is certainly a thrill again this year to be recipients of the Doug Eccles Athletic Excellence Award for the South Atlantic Conference.
Wingate University has done it again. The Bulldogs have picked up their 6th straight South Atlantic Conference Athletic Excellence Award. A new banner will be hung outside of Cannon Complex coming up in the fall. Director of Athletics Steve Poston understands how much work goes into the award and what it means to the university.
When we started this process 6 years ago, we had never won this award before, and now to have won it 6 years in a row is certainly a great credit to our total program, our coaching staff, our student athletes that have come our way, and certainly the hard work that everybody has put in throughout the athletics department here to achieve this high honor.
The South Atlantic Conference sponsors 14 sports in NCAA Division II. Points are awarded based on regular season finishes in 10 of the 14 sports, golf and cross country based on the postseason. In 2011-12, Wingate picked up 4 regular season titles and 7 postseason titles.
Knowing the other schools in our conference and how hard they work to try to knock us off our perch, we're pretty happy to still be up there after 6 years.
For the 2nd straight season, Wingate wins in dominating fashion. The Bulldogs pick up 110 points and beat Anderson, who finishes in second, 20.5 points behind. Tusculum in third, 25.5 behind. Wingate University President Dr. Jerry McGee, a regular at Wingate athletic events, picks up the award each summer at a South Atlantic Conference meeting and enjoys the friendly competition among the presidents.
I have had lots of fun with the other presidents of the South Atlantic Conference. I think it's fair to say that I have pretty much become obnoxious because every year now when we win, I'll say to my friend from Mars Hill, "Oh, Dr. Luxford, congratulations. You moved up from 7th to 6th this year. That's really good." And he knows, of course, I'm tongue-in-cheek. I was giving him a hard time.
Wingate has now been on top of the South Atlantic Conference for 72 months and counting, and that's exactly where President Dr. Jerry McGee wants to stay.
We love to win. We love the fact that our students graduate. We love the fact that our coaches win so many national and conference awards. And it's just a really important part of what we do. It creates an attitude here throughout our campus that this is a very, very special place and we're not going to be second to anybody.
In Wingate's first 4 years as Excellence Cup champions, the Bulldogs won by a margin of 12 points combined. In the past 2 seasons, Wingate's combined margin of victory 49.5. And Jeff, that tells you how incredible the past 2 years have been.
It doesn't seem like anybody can beat the Bulldogs. What's up next?
Well, after a couple weeks of finishing up the 2011-2012 season, we'll fast forward to August, which will be here right around the corner. August 30th, the exact date. Soccer and volleyball get us all started as we make the quest for 7 in a row.
Ryan Brown, thank you very much. Coming up on Wingate today, we'll meet a young woman who followed her passion and now is taking that into the classrooms. And is this the way to spend spring break? Wingate students spend vacation doing service. We'll be right back.
Our nation's future depends on what we do today to prepare our young people for productive and fulfilling lives. All of us need to get involved to help kids stay focused and stay in school. We must become a nation of graduates. One way for you to help is to volunteer as a mentor. Think of a mentor as a guide, someone who is there to listen, to offer encouragement, and to help a young person stay on the path to success. Each of our children has hopes and dreams for their future. Help them get there. Become a mentor.
Welcome back to Wingate Today. This is a segment we're calling Alumni Spotlight. And for that, we're bringing in Brian Stevenson, Wingate University graduate from 1995. Brian, you've come full circle. You used to work here in these studios at WUTV.
That's right. About 12 or 13 years ago, Jeff, I was right here after my Wingate days were over. And it's great to be back. And of course, for this Alumni Spotlight, I couldn't be more excited to be doing this segment. And for this one, I didn't have far to travel.
1, 2, 3, ready, and sing.
That is the sound of success for Brittany Pearch as she teaches course at East Union Middle School in Marshville. She may be one of the newest alumni of Wingate University, but the fact that she got to this point is a story that needs to be told.
I had the dream of becoming a middle school course teacher since I was in 7th grade. I joined choir because, 1, I wanted to go to Carowinds, and 2, I like to sing. And wouldn't you know, the year that I joined choir, they quit going to Carowinds, but I stuck with it anyway.
It's a decision that would shape the future of the Fayetteville native's life. Another key decision, a college visit to the Wingate campus.
And as soon as I drove on campus, it felt like home. And so I knew I was going to do whatever it took to get there.
She probably didn't know at the time how difficult that statement would be. Let's just say that life didn't come on a silver platter for Brittany.
Handouts were not given. And so we worked extremely hard.
She was accepted to Wingate, even got a little bit of money from the music program. It was time to leave the nest and start the next chapter of becoming a middle school teacher. And then
I thought my college career was over before it began.
She had to find her own way from Fayetteville to Wingate, so she called a friend to help her load up her few belongings and get to WU. Once she arrived, she had a great first year. Then it seemed like her world was crashing in again. There was no money from home for year 2.
Because my parents said you're completely on your own at this point.
That's where many of you came in to save the day.
Well, I definitely benefited from the annual fund because at times when I thought I was going to have to pack up my stuff, they were able to say, wait, we were able to get you a scholarship here. And it wasn't really named anything, but it helped me stay in school.
Each year, alumni, community members, and total strangers give to the Wingate Annual Fund. It's their generosity that made Brittany's dream come true.
Blessed. It's definitely a feeling, but I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that so many people in this community loved and supported me, and some of them had just met me, or some of them didn't even know me.
Life has turned out pretty good for this December 2011 graduate. She met friends that she will have for the rest of her life. She recently became engaged, and she loves every minute of teaching. Her students even sang the national anthem at a Wingate lacrosse game this spring.
My students are great. They mean the world to me. They know that I love and care about them.
Brittany intends to make Union County her home and start giving back to all of the people who gave to her along the way.
I have a lot of pride in that school, and I have a lot of pride in this community because Wingate is a family. It's not just a town, it's not just a university, it's a family.
Brittany was such a delightful young lady, and Jeff, she's just really doing a great job out there in the community and a great representative of Wingate University.
Everything going so well for her in her life right now.
It really is. She is getting married in the summer of 2013, and of course on May 12th she'll walk in commencement. A little secret that she hasn't even given to her students yet, and she's still trying to decide what she's going to put on top of her graduation cap.
Brian Stevenson, thank you very much. On the subject of students, check this out. For the 4th year in a row, Wingate University received National Recognition for Community Service. The award, given by the Washington-based group Corporation for National and Community Service, put the university on its 2012 President's Honor Roll. Wingate students logged more than 15,000 hours of community service in 2011. These are students in the social justice sewing group. Wingate students also spent the recent spring break building homes for Habitat for Humanity in Ocala and Eustis, Florida, and working at a food bank. This is Second Harvest Food Bank in Savannah, Georgia. Other groups traveled to Wilmington to work with the North Carolina Coastal Federation cleaning reefs. Earlier in the show, we mentioned the Top Scholars Day. Prospective students this year were treated to something special, and it came in the way of a video presentation that can really pull at your heartstrings. Ben Richardson is a senior admissions counselor and marketing coordinator for admissions, and he joins us now. So Ben, how did this video come together? What was this about?
Well, our approach this year was a little something different. We wanted to target more of an emotional appeal to the students. In the past, we really blast them with information, and so to change gears a little bit, we thought if we give them a little bit more of an emotional approach, it may help them feel connected to Wingate a little bit more. And so we just captured what it's like for a student in the decision-making process, what their college career looks like, but ultimately we wanted to go back to where the decision all starts. And so one decision can shape the rest of your life, and so that's really what we wanted to capture in this video.
That had to be an emotional moment for a lot of people in that auditorium.
Absolutely. You know, I had the opportunity to be the MC of the event, and so walking out on the stage, seeing parents, you know, wiping tears from their eyes, it was certainly an emotional moment, but one that I think families could take pride in, and knowing that their students getting ready to make a decision that's going to change the rest of their life.
Did you see any kind of impact from the video that translated into students signing up?
Absolutely. This video, I mean, certainly played into the emotional role and the emotional audience of what we were hoping to capture in the day. And at this Top Scholars Day event, we actually had the most enrollment deposits ever received in the history of one of these events. So I certainly think it did what we were hoping it would do, but more so helping students make the decision that's the right decision for them.
Senior Admissions Counselor and Marketing Coordinator for Admissions, Ben Richardson, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And finally here, a chance to spread the message of Wingate University throughout the community. Billboards went up in April carrying the university's new marketing campaign, Major in a Great Life, at selected high-traffic locations around Charlotte on Interstate 85 and I-485 and on U.S. Highway 74. Drivers are getting a treat from messages that read, "Study the greats, then become one," and another one that reads, "Turn your studies into your story." This is the second round of billboard advertising Wingate has done. The initial launch was in the fall of 2010 and lasted 6 months. That's Wingate Today for this month. I'm Jeff Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
Comments? Questions? Contact us. Wingate Today is a production of WUTV and Wingate University's Department of Marketing and Communications.